Business integration means that different parts of business need to be aligned together for the company to be able to create value. The main technique that we're going to use that is Porter's value chain. And this is how it looks like. And in the exam, you will be given the model. So if there will be a question that is asking you about value chain, then you will get this very picture. So the model says, you know what we want to do as a company, we want to be able to earn profits. So profits means that we need to be able to charge margin. And margin is the difference between price and cost. So this means that actually there is a two-way process. Well, first of all, we want to make our product so good that the companies that buy our product or customers that buy our product will be willing to pay more margin. So how can we do that? And on the other hand, we want to cut our costs so that we increase our margin from the opposite direction, so that our margin is higher. And Porter says, well, look, let's see at what creates value in your company. And this is what we call primary activities. Well, this model is about manufacturing companies, so it says, inbound logistics. Well, for example, if I'm a cake manufacturer and I buy all the ingredients in huge volumes, I get discounts. So it will be cheaper for me to bake a cake than for you, just a housewife or houseman. So inbound logistics will allow us to buy something cheaper and maybe more qualitative, because we will be able to source something abroad, for example. The next primary activity, which is very important, is operations. Well, for example, as a cake manufacturer, I have special equipment which allows me to do that faster. And I'm used to doing that. So I know how to mix faster. I know how to make my process more efficient. So operations is about processes. Outbound logistics is about how I deliver my product to the customer. And this is, for example, about time it takes. Let's say if I'm ordering a cake, I want it to be made within a day and not within a month. So this would what outbound logistics means. And this is about communication with a customer. And for some businesses, it is very important that outbound logistics is very fast and superb. Like, for example, when you are ordering a pizza, you are not willing to wait for an hour, or when you are ordering a taxi. So the companies would look at outbound logistics and see how they make it more efficient and effective. Another primary activity is marketing and sales. So marketing and sales is about how we are making our product appealing to customers. Well, for example, we are saying to everybody that our cakes are very healthy, or for example, eating this cake is a new lifestyle. So this is about marketing. And another activity, primary activity, is after sales service. Well, not with cakes probably, but when we talk about, let's say, buying a vacuum cleaner, then the customers would look at how long is the warranty period, and is it easy or is it not easy to get the vacuum cleaner returned if anything happens. So this is another primary activity, after sales service. But for these primary activities to work, what you need to do, you need to create a proper structure of your business, proper departments, and this would be called supporting activities. So supporting activities is firm infrastructure, like, for example, if whether there is a vertical integration or horizontal integration, like do we have divisions or do we have functional departments like sales, like finance department, and so on. Then it's technology development. Well, for example, if we want the product to be delivered to customer fast, and maybe the customer need to be able to order it online. And when the customer orders online, then the local system recalculates the balances of ingredients, of raw materials, and places the order to supply immediately, so that we are sure that there are no stockouts of our main raw materials. Human resource management is about how we hire employees, how we motivate employees, how we pay bonuses to them so that they achieve what we ask them to achieve. And procurement is about us buying something from our suppliers. So how efficient and effective is our communication with our supplier, how many suppliers we have, let's say how reliable our suppliers are, how fast we can, how long can we not pay to the suppliers. So value chain acknowledges that activities affect one another. Well, for example, if we source materials at a better quality, then maybe we will have less problems with after-sales service, because we will just have fewer returns. And these linkages require coordination. So if you want to reduce the number of returns because the customers of this very type of product are not willing for their product to be broken, like for example, if we sell something relating to medicine, like medical equipment, so therefore maybe it means that we need to communicate with inbound logistics, with procurement department, so that they would buy some raw materials of better quality. Value chain says that the organization can improve the performance in following ways. Well, first of all, it knows what primary activities are, and by looking at those activities, it will be able to invent new or better ways. Well, of course, the model itself does not tell you how to do that, but it gives you the checklist to think about that. Also, maybe the company will be able to combine activities in new or better way, because they are all integrated and interrelated. And maybe it will be able to manage the linkages in its own value chain, and value system will link with value systems of other companies. This means that when we talk about business, it's not alone. So yes, we want some raw materials to be delivered from suppliers, but these suppliers, they are actually businesses themselves, and they want to be able to sell. They want to be able to sell at good margin and in good volumes. So maybe we need to talk to our suppliers to discuss the level of quality that we need. We need to discuss how fast we need our supplies to be made, and that would help the suppliers to deliver better value to us, and this means that they will be able to have that margin better. And the same will go with customers. So we will talk with customers and we will ask them, well, you know what, tell us what you want. And the customers will tell us what they want, and we will take that information to improve our primary activities, to improve the features that we offer, and the customer will be so happy that they will be able to pay more money to us or to buy more, and that's why it's so very important. Value chain is not that easy exercise to implement, and it will require the change in performance management. Well, first of all, we would need to make sure that we work on the areas that create value to the customers. So we will need to identify critical success factors and not just try to improve revenue or cost. We will need to look at those cost drivers, and we need to look at those value drivers and identify the strategies of how to improve that. And also, organization will need to compare its performance against others. So do some external benchmarking so that it understands what is the value it is delivering to the customers. And value chain is very aligned with Porter's generic strategies. So you do remember that there are some cost leaders and there are some differentiators. So by looking at value chain, cost leaders would think how to minimize cost at each and every primary activity. But when we talk about differentiator, then they would try to understand what they excel at. So they would try to find that primary activity and work on that primary activity to secure their competitive advantage. Value chain is not an easy topic. So this is very important for you to practice. And therefore, I invite you to join me into the video where I'm going to attempt a question on value chain so that you understand it better.